We're coming in hot with some facts about heating.
Updating it, improving it, and maintaining it are all on the docket.
Today on PowerHouse, we'll talk about what it takes to replace a boiler unit.
We'll make the case for humidification to improve comfort and efficiency.
We'll explore zone heating and show you easy heating and cooling maintenance tips.
We're heating things up this week on Alliant Energy's PowerHouse. Our heating and cooling system is one of the most important and costliest systems in the house, so we need to take good care of it. We're going to run through some furnace troubleshooting today, as well as general maintenance tips. And we're going to hear all about it from Rob Wenzel from Novak Heating and Cooling. Nice to have you here today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Okay, let's run through some scenarios, and you can tell us what you would advise us to do, and then we'll talk about general maintenance.
Sounds great.
All right, my first scenario is kind of the worst one you can imagine. Let's say that it's snowy and stormy and cold outside, and you wake up at 2 in the morning and your furnace obviously is not running.
Yeah.
Then what does someone do in that situation?
Not a great situation at all. So first thing I would do is go check your thermostat. If it's set to 70 degrees and it's only 65 in the house, something's going on. Probably need to dig into it a little bit further. So what I would do is I would go down to your furnace and check and see if you can determine if there's something else happening here. Newer furnaces often have like a diagnostic LED code right down here, and if that's blinking, that's telling you that there's an issue that could be going on. If it were me, I would write that down just in case you need to give that to a technician later. But the next step you could take is you could try cycling the power on and off on the furnace. Usually there's a switch next to the furnace. You can turn that off, give it about 30 seconds and turn it back on. And at that point, you should be able to see if it's going to come back and start running again.
Okay, here's my next scenario. I'm standing by the vent and the air doesn't seem to be coming out very strong. It's a weak flow, and it's not moving the way that it should be. What would I do in that case?
Sure, so that could be a couple of different things. Could be your air filter might be getting a little dirty over time. It's good to change those regularly, but you could go down and check that, and you want to shut your furnace off again before you pull that out. Pull that out and check it over and see if it looks dirty or not. And then you can at that point throw a new one in and let it go. You want to make sure you keep a filter in there.
I was just going to say,
Yeah.
That's probably something that should be on the maintenance list, right? Is
Absolutely.
Always having one available.
Yeah, always have a backup. You don't want to run the system without it, because otherwise dirt and debris is going to get inside the vital components here and could create a larger issue for you.
Okay. My next scenario is when it cycles on, when it ramps up, there's a squealing noise. What does a squealing noise mean?
Yeah, so I mean, furnaces create a lot of noises just from general operation. Metal ductwork expands and contracts. It's common to hear a little ting or pop from the ductwork. But if you're starting to hear like a grinding noise or a squealing noise, especially coming from the furnace, that's something you'd want to have a technician take a closer look at.
All right. And my last scenario is I am watching TV, say, and my furnace keeps cycling on and off and on and on, or it doesn't turn off at all. What does that mean?
Sure. It could be a couple factors that could create that. Your thermostat could be set to on, so it's just running that blower all the time instead of auto, which is just going to cycle it during the heat cycle. If it's short cycling, that could be an issue it's more involved on the internal components of the furnace. Again, could be the filter as well too. I'd also check your filter.
Okay. Now let's shift to general maintenance. What tips can you give us?
Yeah, so the big one is making sure your filter is staying clean, keeping that on a routine schedule. You want to also make sure your PVC pipes outside, if they're clear and free of debris that could clog it. In the wintertime, sometimes you can get a drift that could cover those up. You want to make sure those stay clear. Outside of that, just routine maintenance from a professional where we can actually get inside the unit. We go through the heat exchanger, we check all the internal components, we're going to make sure everything's operating properly.
Now, is that a yearly appointment I should make, or is that seasonal?
So we do the heating one in the wintertime and the cooling one in the summertime. So twice a year we want to do an air conditioner check and a furnace check.
Okay, and it probably pays to do that early because I imagine you get booked really fast as soon as the weather approaches.
Yes, we do, especially in the winter and summer.
What are the greatest problems that you see or the most common issues?
Once we get on site, it just depends on the system, the age, the style, the type. We come across things like flame sensors and igniters. There's a heat exchanger in there that can go bad. We want to check that. Your blower can create issues. It can seize up or slow down over time. There's computer boards inside these that can create issues. But outside of that, the only other thing I could think is also make sure your batteries are changed in your thermostat and those are fresh, and making sure that thermostat runs properly.
Those sound like pretty easy things for a homeowner to do.
Mm-hmm.
All right, lastly, are there any scenarios in which I should pick up the phone and call a professional immediately?
Yeah, I mean, anytime you get beyond the point of checking your filter and cycling the furnace, before you start opening this up and trying to diagnose it yourself at that point, that's the point you really want to have a professional come out and take a look, just so you're safe.
Thanks, Rob. You know what? I feel reassured already. Thanks
great.
for the information.
You're welcome.
For more tips on taking care of your PowerHouse, visit our website, powerhousetv.com.
While a dry heat might be great in the summer, in the winter, heat needs a little moisture to be more efficient. Humidifier units can help with that controlled heat to stay to where it needs to be. Join us from Novak Heating is Julian Rodriguez to talk about a whole house humidifier, and then we'll take a look at selecting and maintaining room humidifier options. Julian, thanks for joining us. Start by talking with us about what is a whole house humidifier and how it works.
Whole house humidifier is an application to your heating and ventilation system that will add humidity levels to your system for comfortability. It works by evaporating water into a water panel and dispersing it into the supply duct.
Walk us through the different types of humidifiers that are out there.
There's a few different types of humidifiers out there. Whole house humidifiers, as in your evaporative and your steam. And there's also just your individual room applications.
What are the benefits of a whole house humidifier system?
The benefits is quality, comfort, control. It's what we're all after.
Julian, some real benefits when we think about our own health with a whole house humidifier.
Yes, as in our respiratory health and our skin health as well, from keeping it so dry.
So that's where, again, why we add a little moisture in with our heat, right? We want that right mixture and, again, the overall health that we have.
Absolutely, along with quality, comfort, control.
Do I have to have a whole new system, or can you come out and retrofit to my existing heating system?
Absolutely not. You need your existing system that you have now, and we can hook up it currently to that. Try to take every application in its own is individual, and we just adapt to.
You can really adjust and can be controlled by a thermostat on the wall, is that right?
Absolutely. And some applications can have the newer thermostats that control that. You can change the percentages by a click on your phone.
A lot of benefits to having a whole house humidifier. Any downsides to having a whole house humidifier?
Not that I can think of other than just preventative maintenance. Annual preventative maintenance by a licensed professional is ideal.
Now, I know you're out here at this house today to do a little maintenance. Talk to us about what you'll do.
Well, in this residence specifically, it is a newer application. However, I still need to look at the water panel quality and then the drain quality, make sure it's clear of any obstructions.
What does a homeowner need to consider in terms of that whole house humidifier?
It's hands-free, hassle-free. That's the best thing about an in-home humidifier application is they virtually just need preventative maintenance just to keep up on the system and making it running at peak performance.
So again, the downside are limited, right?
Very limited. Very, very limited.
Just keeping that maintenance in mind.
Yep.
When does someone consider having just a room humidifier instead?
They're a renter and they can't change the mechanical aspects of their system. They can use the in-room humidifier that is only controlled for that specific room or square footage.
Okay, if they feel like, if I need a little bit more, I can go that portable route, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely, and all they have to do is turn their fan on to circulate the air throughout the house.
Well, Julian, you've given us a lot of great information. Thanks for sharing that. And speaking of portable humidifiers, let's check in with Megan to find out more about additional details and maintenance tips.
As we've already learned, moist air feels warmer and conducts heat better, bringing you more comfort and energy efficiency. How you get that moisture is up to you, but here are some things to think about. Reaping the benefits of humidified air is dependent on choosing the right model of humidifier, using it correctly, and keeping it properly maintained. There are 4 basic types of single-room humidifiers: evaporative, impeller, vapor or warm mist, and ultrasonic humidifiers. Evaporative humidifiers use a water-absorbing wick in a reservoir with a fan to distribute the cool, humidified air. They can be prone to mold growth if not properly maintained. Impeller types are also cool moisture producers. They have a high-speed rotating disc that spins and pushes microscopic water droplets into the air. This is often a visible mist that you can actually see coming from the unit. Vapor or warm mist humidifiers boil water to create steam that is distributed as water vapor by a fan. This type of unit is less prone to mold, but it does consume more energy, and the hot water can be a hazard to children or pets. Ultrasonic humidifiers create moisture by using rapidly vibrating ceramic discs to generate tiny droplets that are gently blown into the air. These are usually cool units, but some are equipped with a boiler unit or a UV light that sterilizes the water. While very safe to operate, they may also put fine particles of minerals extracted from the water into the air, creating a fine dust. You can choose the right size unit for your space by looking at the square footage recommendations on the humidifier packaging. The size of the tank will also dictate how often it needs to be refilled. Once you have the right unit for you, here are some tips to keep it operating effectively and efficiently. Never add salt. This will not create a salty sea air effect. It will only destroy metal components and hinder proper operation. Use distilled or demineralized water if possible, not tap water. Empty the reservoir daily and fill it with fresh water. Clean and sterilize your humidifier components regularly, including tanks, filters, wicks, and trays to avoid mineral deposits and bacteria or mold development. During heating season, run the humidifier day and night if it has a humidistat that monitors moisture in the air. Make sure you use humidifiers correctly and watch for excess moisture on carpets, floors, or surrounding walls and furniture. You'll want to aim for moisture levels at 30 to 50% and don't go over 60%. Make sure the unit you choose has features that are most helpful to you, like timers, UV lights, humidistat controls, LED displays, or quiet operation modes for nighttime. To learn more ways to make your wintertime heating more efficient, visit PowerHouseTV.com.
Do you ever find yourself wondering why one area of your home doesn't seem as comfortable as another? If that's the case, your house might benefit from zone heating. Here to tell us about zone heating is PJ Kalb from Colony Heating and Air Conditioning. PJ, welcome.
Thank you.
Give us an overview of what, when we talk about zone heating, what that is.
Zone heating is, we can take your heating system and say we have a 2-story home. We can take main floor and have that run off one thermostat and have the second floor run off another thermostat and possibly the lower level run off a third thermostat. And when there's certain areas of the home that you're not living in, say during the day you're not using the bedrooms upstairs on second floor, you're mainly on main floor and the lower level, those 2 zones can be heating and cooling the home, and we can leave that upstairs thermostat set a little lower. So it seems to benefit people's lifestyle and where they live in the home.
So when we talk zone heating, is there a minimum of zones?
In most cases, if we're going to zone, we're going to have at least 2 zones, sometimes 3, sometimes 4, depending on the square footage and whether this is an existing home or is new construction. When we deal with new construction, it's a lot easier for us to design these zones for what square footage we're dealing with and adjust the ductwork accordingly. On retrofit applications or existing homes, it's still possible to zone that, but it's a little more difficult depending on how the ductwork is laid out in the house, if the house is finished.
All right, so you bring up a couple of questions that I have then. So we can retrofit?
We can. Let's say you have a home that's 2-story. A lot of times in the summertime, it's too warm on second floor. We can take that and split that and put 2 thermostats in. And now on second floor, we can have that zone call more often to keep that more comfortable. Winter time comes along, we can put a zone down there, thermostat down there, so that thermostat's going to run until it satisfies that particular zone. Same thing when we have, room additions and things like that. Sometimes zone those too. So it just seems to fit people's lifestyle.
PJ, are there certain types of homes then that are better to be zoned?
Obviously, a home that's under construction or going to go under construction, we can design that ideally for zoning. A lot of two-story homes are real popular for zoning, like what I touched on earlier, that the second floor is warmer in the summer and the system doesn't run long enough. With zoning, we can take that and we can run that until we want it a certain temperature. So two-story homes are real good candidates for zoning.
And you mentioned also if I've got an addition perhaps that I put on, as you said, a great room, that'd be a great opportunity to add zoned in for something like that.
That works out really well because if we get a larger a room addition added, it might not be large enough to put a full system in, but if our system that we have now is capable of handling that, we can take and maybe zone the house and have a zone on main floor, a zone for this addition, and then a zone for the second floor as well.
Now, couldn't a person just go around and close and open vents? Would that work?
That doesn't work real well because the balancing of the air pressure through the ductwork doesn't work real well when we start opening and closing zones. The air is already pushed to that point, and when we close that register, that makes it rather inefficient.
I know it always depends, PJ, on the home and what you're doing, but can you kind of ballpark if I'm going to add zoned heating into my home, what I might be looking at?
In some instances, that's going to start out around $3,000. That's kind of a tricky question depending on what we're dealing with and if the ceilings are finished in the lower level and we have to add ductwork, and it really depends on the application. They're better off contacting a HVAC contractor, having them come out, look at the application, and then they can get an exact dollar amount on what that'll cost.
But as we talk about zoned heating and cooling, I mean, we're really talking about the comfort level we can bring into our house as well. I mean, that's first and foremost, I guess, when we think about it, right?
Correct. And it is efficient, because obviously if we're not living upstairs in the daytime, we can shut that zone off. So we can make it more efficient, but zoning truly is a comfort.
PJ, a lot of great information, thank you. And certainly sounds like someone can investigate that for a certain type of home. And if you'd like more details about energy efficient heating solutions for your PowerHouse, visit PowerHouseTV.com.
Most of the homes in the U.S. are heated by either a furnace or a boiler. Now, a furnace uses ductwork to transport that heated air through your house, but a boiler works a little bit differently. Boilers have been in use heating homes since the early 20th century, but today's models are so much more efficient. And here to give us more insight is Bill White from Hanna Plumbing and Heating. Hi, Bill.
Hi.
Can you explain to us the difference between a hot water and a steam boiler?
A steam boiler takes hot water and heats it up to above 212 degrees, and then it distributes that throughout the house, and it condensates and goes back to the boiler to start the cycle over again. It's not that efficient for a home to do that because it's heating way beyond the means of desired temperature for the house. With a hot water boiler, you're heating up between 90 to 190 degrees of water, which is more usable water. Homes have various types of heat emitters, such as radiant baseboard, radiant floor, radiators, indirect water heaters, and they even have snow melt systems that you can do outside.
Give us a little briefing on where we are today and what things you encountered in this house. What's the scenario?
The homeowner wanted us to just do a service call, and we could not get his boiler to continue to operate, so we needed to upgrade. And what we did out here was get rid of his indirect water heater and put in a combo unit. It's a Navion boiler. It has the ability to heat the water for the domestic hot water and also provide hot water for his radiant floor in his sunroom here.
And what were the heat emitters that he chose?
Well, the heat emitters for here would be the radiant floor and the sunroom floor. It has coil PEX piping running throughout the floor, and it runs at about 90 degrees and just keeps it nice and warm.
Now, you mentioned that this homeowner replaced an indirect water heater. I've never heard of that. What is that?
It's a different type of heat source for the water heater. Inside of it, instead of having a flame, it had a coil coming from the boiler to heat the water.
How do you know when your boiler needs to be replaced?
You'll start to have signs of higher heat costs. Components will be failing. If your boiler is getting to the end of its life cycle, you don't want to be putting more maintenance into it. You just want to put that money into upgrading it to a newer system.
And what is the age range for a typical boiler?
Between 20 to 30 years.
Are there things that I can do as a homeowner before I need to replace my boiler?
It's always a good idea to change your windows and doors and increase the R value of your house.
So keep it airtight and as efficient as possible. Weatherizing,
Yeah, you don't want to heat the outdoors.
right? So if it is time for me to go shopping for a boiler, what things should I keep in mind?
Get a hold of a reputable contractor. It's not a do-it-yourself project. You'll need somebody to come out and see what your individual needs are and give you an estimate on your project.
Let's talk about ventilation. Does a boiler require ventilation, and are there concerns with that?
Older boilers need combustion air from the room to operate. They have just a chimney for the exhaust. If you've done remodels over time, the square footage may have gotten smaller in the room and the combustion air is being suffocated. Newer model boilers will bring in the combustion air from outside, and then the exhaust will go outside too, so you don't have to worry about the square footage. And they also have a tendency to condensate, so you have to have a poly exhaust pipe in order to keep that from corroding.
So sometimes the older pipes can't be repurposed.
Correct.
Lastly, can you give us a price range on cost?
Price range could be as cheap as $5,000, it could be over 20, it just depends on the individual's needs.
All right, so call your professional and do an assessment, right?
You definitely want to have a contractor that's reputable.
And we don't want that price to scare people off because it is an investment, right? People will see a return with that efficiency.
It's something that's going to last them for another 20 to 30 years, so you want to make sure you're getting the best heating for your dollar.
Great, thank you, Bill. If you'd like more information on energy efficient ways to heat your PowerHouse, visit our website, powerhousetv.com.
We hope you're feeling comfy and cozy after this week's PowerHouse.
We upgraded a boiler-based heating solution.
We added humidification for comfort and efficiency.
We picked our zones and made them comfortable.
And we shared key maintenance and troubleshooting tips to keep your heating system in top condition.
Cozy is the name of the game. Take time to warm up to your PowerHouse.